Welcome back to the first of the worst podcast. I'm Brendan Murphy.
And I am Steve Arendis.
And we have been hit and miss on the summer broadcast schedule, but we are rearing up for a full fall rollout of season 3 of the first of the worst.
I like how our season just start whenever we want them to start.
I mean, if we were an HBO show, we'd be in like season 7 because we're 50 episodes deep.
For sure.
So I'm just arbitrarily calling this season 3. I'd like to think that we were a mid-season cancellation replacement starting in February of 2015? 2014?
Sure. 2015.
2015. Then we had the full 2015 rollout with all the way to the network behind us, and then they brought us back. We're Blackish.
Yeah.
Just like it, in fact.
We're just getting all those nominations they get to.
By the way,
get nominations?
Underrated show.
Oh, I've told. So we're both on
really funny.
So we're both on it. We started.
It's way funnier than Modern Family.
Yeah, I'm on the. I started watching Modern Blackish because like there's nothing new on, and it just happens to be on my TV like when I'm like making dinner, and like it's pretty funny.
See, I understand the name was supposed to be like like they're kind of in a place where they're like the only black people in their neighborhood, and it's like white America, and I was like, it just really turned me off the name.
Yeah, it was bad. It's not a great name.
They had to think of something else. If they would have gone with better branding, I would have been a little more into it.
Yeah, but it's pretty good.
Anthony Anderson is hilarious. He's got incredible comic
time. So this week, what are we gonna get? What are we calling this one? I put old school internet on our chat thing, but I don't even know what we're gonna stick with.
I mean, we could call it like defunct websites and domains.
So we're gonna list like the 10 best like websites that kind of don't exist anymore. Some of them do exist technically, but like not really as they were originally conceived,
they
or
may have been
very less popular.
Or they may do a redirect or something, but they're not what they were.
Like this is just what happens on the internet. Like city.com still exists. That's a place that like went bankrupt. It doesn't exist. Like, but circuitcity.com still sells electronics. It's not the old store we know, but that website still exists.
Yeah.
How the internet works.
So nothing dies on the internet. It just isn't its real self anymore. That's the closest you get to death. I
searched some of these. Some of these have like something there, and then some of them like redirect to something else. Because if they were ever popular, somebody wants that domain name to like shift over to something else. So like they all kind of are weirdly around in some iteration.
One thing I actually looked at in this, that if I getting into territory that you are going to cover, you could stop me, but was websites that were squatter domains. Like I believe at one point GeorgeWBush.com was getting held for ransom, and so in like when he was running for president, and you go to GeorgeWBush.com and there would be a bunch of photoshopped images of him doing cocaine.
I remember that.
I decided not to include those.
This is like a tough one. Like was a tough one to remember, but I feel like we might like both like get ideas from each other as this goes along, because there's not like good lists of this to look at.
There were not good lists on the internet. For instance, I'll type this one to you. We do a lot of show prep, as the audience knows.
Oh yeah, tons of it. Oh yeah, no, I don't have that one.
Yeah, it was pets.com on any list of defunct domain names was the first one to come up as like this was one that was a big deal, but I think it was only a big deal because it was part of the .com bubble.
So it was like just like a place you bought stuff for your pets.
Yeah, and it got a bunch of funding and did a terrible Super Bowl commercial. But I don't think people ever really liked that site.
Yeah, it's just
like the sites I'm including on here are things that I used.
I think most of these I used or at least have been to. And maybe some of them aren't. One of them at least I don't think it was super popular, but it was one I went to a lot, so it made the list.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that'll lead into my number 10, which wasn't super popular at all. I had a local tie-in. A friend of mine's brother went to the Purdue University. I think it's Purdue University.
Yeah, I think so.
And in the late 1990s, they won the women's college basketball national title, which, by the way, in my opinion, the third best title your college can win.
Yeah, I agree.
I take it over baseball. So I think it's cool. They won it, and this is a little extreme, though. They rioted when they won the women's college basketball national title.
Well, that's equal opportunity. That's just Title IX right there.
You're right. Purdue's a forward-thinking university. And he recorded it on his digital video camera, and then he made a website called collegeriots.com of all the couch burnings, and then like incorporated riots from other colleges that he could find videos of.
Love it.
So collegeriots.com, and also it was at a time where if someone made a website, you were already pretty fucking impressed.
Yeah, it wasn't
Not like today
super
where you can go
easy
to like I have a website. Like we know lots of people that have websites.
Yeah, it's not back then. Like you had to be have a little.
There
skill.
was some HTML involved and some engineering. So I think that part of it was impressive too.
Mm-hmm.
So we were very impressed by collegeriots.com. I bet it got updated 4 times in 4 years.
Love it. Do you think he ever generated like $50 of ad revenue or something from it?
I'd have to ask him. He's a very successful marketing person now. So
maybe he did. Maybe that
was the seed of it all.
Okay. My number 10 is actually one I really liked, but it kind of was like in my head, almost against the spirit of this list because it was so recent. And you probably have it on your list, but it's grantland.com.
Mine's higher, but I do see what you're saying. It is the spirit of the list.
I'm fine with you having it higher. Yeah, it was a great website and it's gone, and the new version of it isn't as good. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean the thing is now, if something's a great website, it will probably not go away.
Not totally. It'll come back in some iteration.
Like Grantland was just like a weird ESPN meltdown situation.
It didn't go away it went away because of like politics.
Yeah, I mean, because even ESPN, they're willing to lose money because they have the WNBA.
Yeah, and now they have
ESPNW
and Grantland, which the undeclared,
which they totally week they totally misrepresented news in the interest of promoting that website, and that Michael Jordan speaks with Black Lives Matter type story.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan was like, it's bad when innocent people get shot. Also bad when cops get shot if they're innocent. I mean, like, it's a non-controversial statement of all time.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah,
like, if anyone disagrees with what Michael Jordan says, you're a super racist, one way or the other. Like, you could be a new Black Panther Party member and also be not good. Like, that does exist too. Like, anyone's just like, yeah, kill the cops.
Yeah. So my number 9 is more of a web hosting situation. So maybe even before your friend started collegeriots.com, if you wanted to start a shitty website, you would have to go to GeoCities.
GeoCities. I thought about including GeoCities. And maybe it was like collegeriots.geocities.com.
I feel like I was post GeoCities. If it was when you were in college, I feel like he didn't use.
No,
GeoCities.
it was in the late '90s before I was in college. It was
he
like when you were in college.
Well, I was in college for like half of a '90s year. So
yeah, he's like 37, so he is a lot older.
But yeah, maybe GeoCities were. I mean, just all I remember from GeoCities are the original GIFs, which were just like those weird sparkly animations and stuff like on their websites.
And it's funny that those are still kind of around. I mean, they changed them because they added text to them, but like,
yeah. And now they're like just cleaner images, but like apparently still an internet thing.
Yeah.
So what's your number 9?
My number 9. There's a lot of media related stuff on here. There was just no way around it for me. So I did non-Napster file sharing websites because Napster is going to get its own entry.
So yeah, Napster has its own. I put Napster. I didn't put the other ones just because.
So I did like Kazaa and LimeWire.
What were some other ones? There was other ones. I never got into the torrent.
They all were like super bad for your computer, and you were almost guaranteed to have your computer crash if you downloaded.
Yeah,
one.
You just had to buy like a really cheap computer and then just like ride it until it broke when you were on those sites.
So, I don't know if I have like a great thing to say about them. One of them, I think LimeWire was the first one you could download videos off of, which in college meant we downloaded so much porno.
Porn. Yeah. It took forever, but you would have to you could set it and forget it.
And I'm not kidding. We just would watch the MILF Hunter, just like getting drunk all together in the room. It wasn't even like a horny thing. It was just
I was trying to figure
out why don't girls want to fuck us?
I was trying to figure out what the old porn site would have been, and I couldn't think of. Maybe you have it, but I couldn't think of it. And it was like just because you downloaded it on those things, or like you just like searched it on some weird search engine, and hope
Yeah,
something
I mean,
came up.
I
Which I'll
try to
get to
keep this
some
board
weird
free.
searches.
I try to keep this board free, for the most part. But that is a footnote to some of these that you could download video. You also could then like download feature films to some extent, although the torrents were way better for that. And I never understood how that worked.
I just dabbled in the torrent life. You got like a friend who's like your torrent guy. Like, not that you even use it, but like I feel like every group of friends has a torrent guy who is like offended if you pay for like stuff on the internet.
Well, yeah, I mean the thing is, maybe I want to see Harry Potter 7 in theaters and not a bootlegged copy on my computer screen.
Maybe it's just easier for me to click and pay $3.99 on demand than it is to like go on my computer screen and like maybe download a virus and watch it on my computer. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
If I knew how to do it, I think people are stupid too. But I have like spent maybe like an hour of my life researching it.
I did it once. I downloaded season 1 of. I downloaded some show, maybe like True Blood, season 1 of True Blood that way, and I was just like, "This is just a lot of work."
It was not easy to figure out, and so then I was just eventually like, "No, this is not user friendly enough. This is why this technology is not very popular."
Yeah. So that was your number 9.
Yeah.
I think Kazan and LimeWire both had video.
Napster definitely did not.
They had one of them had programs too. Like I should probably just say that out loud. You could download certain programs. Like
when you're in college, like Microsoft Office,
Photoshop.
Yeah, those things are expensive. Yeah, I mean, I think you can download those things pirated. The next one is it's not flashy. It's just a website I really liked going to. It was a basketball's rumors website, and it was called bskball.com. It just went away one day.
I don't know that site, but I like it.
One day it was gone, and it was totally like a GeoCities type layout. Like the background was like a basketball court and had like bright green text at certain points, and
some of those sites still like kind of made it. Like MLB Trade Rumors is like still a website.
Well, some of them got bought by like ESPN or like sportstalk.com and all that. So
yeah, and they still are rolling. But not Twitter kind of killed a lot of the just like list of rumor websites. Though they're still out there.
Yeah,
or like all bigger websites have a rumors tab or something like that.
Yeah, and ESPN sometimes it'll just be like straight screen grabs of Twitter. Like they don't even bother with a link.
Yeah. They don't check it. It's just this is what it is. Yeah.
I have a question that is timely and probably could have been done off the air. Is the trade deadline gone now? Is it July 31st still?
I think it's we're recording this on the 1st of August. I think it's today. I think it's like today. At some point today.
Okay.
It ends for baseball. I think it's at some point today. So when you're listening to this, trade deadline will be over.
Trade deadline
Sorry,
coming on.
Sorry, we don't have any hot Major League Baseball.
Chris Sale will have been traded to the Red Sox, and
I don't think so, but we'll see.
No way. Half measures.
Half measures, yeah. So are we on my number 8?
We would be on your number 8.
All right. The host of my first like legit email address that I used for a long time, hotmail.com. I was a big Hotmail guy.
You know, I didn't include that. It was my first 2, but it's still you'll still see them. Now that I do the show, we collect email addresses.
Oh, those are all fake.
Damn it. Maybe you're right.
I totally give out my Hotmail address to people when they just want something for a list.
You might be right.
I still write down my Hotmail address. Like if I'm at some bar, they're like, okay, put you in a list. We'll give you a free shot. Okay. Here's my Hotmail address.
Oh, we don't give a free shot. We don't have that kind of budget. It's just
I know you're just being nice though, and it's easier than be like, no.
It is. I mean, some people are like, I'm good. I try to be as unimposing and as understanding as possible.
Yeah, I went straight from Hotmail to Gmail. There was no in between for me.
There had to be some .edu address for you at some point.
Well, yeah, but I was still using Hotmail. I still had my Hotmail. Yeah, but yes, I had some .edu action. So then my number 7 is maybe this is from like 97, sometime like that. Like I remember this in like high school internet, like I was in the computer lab, and people would go to this website, hamsterdance.com.
That was definitely what I saw come up on
and it was just stupid hamster dancing. to this stupid song. And that's what it was. And if you're younger than me and don't know about this kind of stuff, that's the kind of shit that was on the internet back in the day.
Oh, the barriers for what was entertaining on the internet have changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Like
hamsterdance.com. I think there was another one later on. It was like badger.com. That was like a similar thing, but I went with the original hamsterdance.com.
I can't explain it. If you're like 20 years old, you just don't understand how the internet works.
Do you remember hamsterdance.com, or you just saw
I
it from
do
the
remember it. I saw it on those sites and then remembered it. And it just made me think of a million other things that were kind of like it.
Yeah.
Like anything that was like novelty and like funny for 30 seconds was amazing for like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. That thing shouldn't have been amazing for more than like one click.
Yeah.
And then you should be like, this is dumb, and close it. All right.
I mean, like the one that, like when
Oh,
YouTube first came out, I think I should have looked at that for like hours and been like, this is the most amazing. Like that actually truly is something that is amazing.
Yeah.
But even then I was like, that's some bullshit. It'll go away. Who cares?
Yeah, for sure. What's your number 7?
My number 7 is, and I told you I did a lot of media. This is a more recent one. This was not a file upload site. It was like a streaming site for music. It was called Groove Shark. This was like, this one like still would load if you went to it, but it was like before Spotify and Pandora existed, but Pandora, you couldn't pick the music you wanted to listen to.
Okay.
You know, you could,
so this was like the first one of those, but it just maybe didn't have a huge like selection.
And also like users would upload. So you cool live shows of certain bands kind of thing.
Okay. I gotcha.
Once Spotify came around, I still think there's some validity to Groove Shark because of the user upload component that you can get some rare type recording.
Isn't that kind of what, like, is it like SoundCloud kind of doing that now?
Okay, so SoundCloud
maybe, I don't know.
They probably I mean, that makes sense that because this stuff still exists on the internet, like recording major label releases.
Yeah.
This is just one that I used to use, but it just was like comparatively to the other platforms, technology and usability was terrible.
I gotcha. But it was like revolutionary. Like when you first clicked it, probably you thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, also like the app capability. I don't even know if they had a phone app. So
yeah, probably not.
I mean,
probably did towards the end. I bet they did, and it probably sucked.
So that would be my number 7. My number 6. This was a search engine that.
Oh, my number 6 is also is a pile of search engines. So if we want to talk search engines, we can do
this one I picked specifically because it is still something that I type in domains all the time because it is ESPN.go.com for whatever reason.
Go.com?
Yeah.
I never really did go.com. But yeah, is it still ESPN.go.com? I know that was the weirdest thing for such a long time. And for such a long time, you like at first when ESPN first
now it's just ESPN.com.
I don't know. I can give you a screen.
Oh no, it is ESPN.go.com.
It's ESPN.go.com. I mean, if you type in ESPN.com, I'm sure it works. But yeah, it's ESPN.go.com. That's bananas.
Because go.com does not exist.
It just exists to host ESPN. So we'll get to my 6, which is this. I just put this as like, it's kind of like old search engines. So like Excite was like, I looked at this. Excite was like the number 1 website on the internet for like a long time.
There was Lycos,
Alta Vista,
and everyone's favorite Ask Jeeves, which was a great idea, but just had terrible capabilities.
Yeah, now it's just ask.com, right? It's the same thing. And then, do you remember one called Dogpile?
I do.
Dogpile. And for some of the younger kids, there's a website called yahoo.com. And you used to be able to search internet on it.
They're going under, man.
It's just keep my fantasy football leagues going. Like, that's all I care about.
ESPN has better functionality at this point.
No way, dude. I don't believe it.
What ESPN did to change the game on fantasy was they free stat tracker.
Yeah, but Yahoo has it now.
Yahoo has that. That was a big. That was a big thing. That
I'm in
did.
this one league that's basically been going on forever, like pre ESPN fantasy league, or when ESPN fantasy leagues maybe were only for money or like you had to pay or something. And then one year we switched to ESPN because they had the free stat tracker, and we were all like, "This kind of sucks," but free stat tracker is awesome. And then Yahoo got free stat tracker the next year, so we went back.
Free stat tracker was a game changer.
Yeah.
Before that, I remember many Sunday nights like sitting at my desk with a pencil.
Oh yeah,
adding it up.
Not nerdy at all.
Just I couldn't wait. I could not wait till the next day.
Speaking of fantasy sports sites, my number 5 is a site that probably wasn't popular, but I played in like a serious fantasy baseball league for like a keeper fantasy baseball league for multiple years a long time ago on a site called sandbox.com.
I vaguely remember that. I feel.
And now if you go to sandbox.com, it links like you just go to rotowire.com for some reason.
Okay,
like,
so they got bought. They probably got bought out
or whatever. Yeah, I was in some weird fantasy baseball league on that site, and I traded my whole team for Freddie Garcia to keep him the next year because my team sucked. That's how long ago it was.
How'd that trade work out? That could not have worked out well.
Fine. The website went away that year, so it didn't really matter after that. Because the league disbanded because the website died.
Your whole team for Freddie Garcia.
Not the whole team. I needed a second keeper. My team sucked. What is your number 5?
Okay, so I would like to point out that the websites you go to at the time of your life may not be like the greatest reflection of the adult you become.
Oh yeah, agreed. Okay, yes.
I like to preface that because my number 5 is a website called hotornot.com.
Oh, it's higher. It's number 3 on my list. First off, anybody our age knows about hotornot.com. Like you went to hotornot.com and you just simply looked at pictures of people and clicked hot or not.
Yeah,
and then you saw their percentage of hotness.
It was girls and guys, I think. From what I recall.
I think you could do either. I would just do both because I would rate the guys too. I didn't care.
Because the guy pictures were often very funny.
Yeah, they were funnier. So you do hot or not, which it's like a bad dating site now. But it wasn't a dating site at first. Like it was strictly just like pictures.
It was just ratings, and you could do it for hours.
I feel like Zuckerberg, like something about Facebook has to do with hot or not or something. I don't know. At first, like his ideas for Facebook. But yeah, and you just simply click on whether people were hot or not. And that's what it was.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Do you ever like see somebody you knew on hot or not?
No.
I didn't even. They could have all been fake. It would have been a great play.
I don't think a lot of people uploaded their photos themselves.
No, you just judged other people because you were terrified of like putting your photo up and it being like 14% hot. Yep, hot.com. Was that your number 5 or 4?
My number 5.
That was my 3.
It was I mean, it didn't make America smarter, but
no, most websites don't.
No, they do not even close.
All right, what's your number 4?
Okay, so this is a website that still kind of exists, but the forum it's changed, and now you have to be like a subscriber to Sprid to use it.
Okay.
It was a website called IP Relay, and what it is it was a website service for deaf people.
What?
That you could call them, and then you could type in what you said, and the person would speak for you in a computer voice, basically.
That's awesome.
So it was a great way to fuck with someone if you're a terrible person, which I kind of
that's amazing.
But now you have to be a subscriber to use it. It also is a great way to find your phone if you can't find your phone. You can just go to IP Relay, type in your phone number, and they'd call your phone. You'd be like, oh, there it is.
Oh, that's great.
Just how I often used it. As someone who lost his phone and lived alone.
IPRelay.com. All right. Okay, so I'm an idiot. I'm looking at my list right now, and I have 2 number 4s.
Okay, well, let's do top 11. Yeah.
Okay. 4B, because it's actually below the other 4 on my list, is much like a society I probably wouldn't. It still exists, very much so, I believe. But not in the form I feel like when I used to go to it. And it was collegehumor.com.
Okay.
I feel like it still very much exists, but I don't think it's
I thought it existed still. That's why I kind of...
it definitely still exists, but they like make their own stuff now. Back in the day, it was literally just like uploaded pictures of like drunk people at college.
Yeah, that is what it was. It was really entertaining when you were 19.
But now it's like...
Scripted video sketches.
Yeah, and like animations and stuff they make. Yeah, they really classed it up.
No, now it's like legitimate produced content. Yeah, you're right. It's a very good. It's very much not the original product.
No, it's like, yeah, I'm sure. I think it's the same company in theory, but they just like evolve. It's not the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, it might have been a bunch of 20-year-olds who started it, and then they became 30, and we're like, well, let's see if we can have a model that's a little more profitable.
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess my 4A is MySpace, which also still technically exists.
Didn't really make my list. I don't know why.
I didn't really I just crept on some people on MySpace, but I never had a MySpace account. Did you?
I didn't. I didn't have a Facebook account until kind of late.
Okay.
I guess, I mean, late for Mizzou. It was very early on in the game, but like everyone at Mizzou had one before me.
Gotcha.
I had taken that semester off, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try, see what this thing's about. And then it wasn't that special.
It was just like poking people.
It was MySpace. It was very similar. Like there was no hub.
Yeah, it was just MySpace, except I don't think you had a top 10 friend list or something. I don't know. And you didn't. MySpace got all weird. It was all like people would like. There would always be like emo bands playing on people's pages.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I think it sucked was because you could like design your page to
all kinds of crazy
specifications, and it took forever to load.
It took forever to load, and everybody's page they designed was horrible and like would like hurt your face to look at.
It was like, I want to have a Third Eye Blind logo in the background. And I want black text on top of that black logo.
Yep. So that was my second number 4. And my 3 was Hot or Not. So what's your 3?
My 3 is just a generic. These still exist, but TV repository websites, which were like a huge deal when there wasn't like HBO Go and Netflix streaming. It was like, if you needed to see season 4 of The Wire, you needed to buy the DVD or you needed to stream it on movies.tv. That was the website I used to go to.
Movies.tv. Nice. My move for that back in the day was I would buy a DVD set used on eBay and then I'd sell it used on eBay. So it was like sometimes I made money on a couple seasons randomly of like That's how I watched Lost in the Wire, I believe. I should still do that. It's actually probably the most cost-effective way to do it.
If you don't need to watch the episodes when they come out.
Yeah. But then I have to find something to play DVDs on besides my computer, which I don't even know if all my computers do that anymore. I don't think they do.
Yeah, mine doesn't. No CD. I can't burn a CD on this.
Yeah. So yeah, those sites were crucial back in the day. It was a lot tougher. They weren't like you're all over the place. It wasn't like one. Like Hulu was kind of one of them originally, and then it kind of grew into the station it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the evolution of these things is, that something gets kind of legitimized.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something that's like kind of off the radar gets legitimized or whatever.
Or like iTunes is just Napster with pay. I mean, like something like that comes out.
Yeah.
But I'll say in 10 years, if we're doing this list, iTunes will be on it because that shit will not exist.
Not in the form it is now. It's just a stream.
Like the Apple Music thing where everything's streaming and eventually they'll convert iTunes movies and shit to that too.
Yeah, probably. What is your number 2?
Grantland, which we discussed.
Yeah, Grantland.
Yeah, I think it. We both agree. We like the site. It made you, as a fan of sports or movies or TV, it held you kind of accountable and made you less stupid, made you be a little more analytical.
So what do you think about The Ringer, which is essentially Grantland too?
I haven't had as much time to poke around at it. One of the advantages of Grantland was that it was always linked to on the ESPN homepage.
Okay.
So like,
yeah,
that was a good.
I don't know. Like the podcasts are pretty much the same, which I'm fine with. But like when I go to the website, I don't know. It's not. Maybe it's the layout. The layout's a weirdly big thing with me. If I don't like how things look, I poke around less.
Well, I mean, they got to be set up in a way that gives you what you need to know. Like right now, it's just blog scroll essentially.
It's medium.com. It's just a medium.com blog essentially. They're hosted on Medium, and it's weird for like a site that clearly has money behind it to just be that. So then my number 2. PokerStars.net.
Oh, that was a significant oversight from me.
I guess all the poker sites, right? Like
I was a full tilt man myself, but
I was a Poker Stars man. That's why it made my list. So you liked having like a weird, goofy like avatar, like on Full Tilt?
yeah, I was cool with it. I never played for real money, so
I did, and Full Tilt had a weird thing where like I didn't like where the buttons were. Like I accidentally folded or raised depending because of how the buttons would move around once or twice, and I was like, "Fuck this site, I'm out of here." So then I went strictly for stars.
no. When I moved to Connecticut, that was in the middle of the poker boom, and all the guys that worked at the ESPN played poker a lot, and I lost a lot of money to them, and I learned how to play okay. Like I still am not like an idiot. I'm not an idiot when I sit down at a card table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point in your life, that's all you want to do is if you want to play, if somebody has a poker game that you want to be able to play and have fun and not really be an idiot.
Not be like the guy who like off-suited goes all
who like
in.
every single person is like, what the behind their back is like, this guy's a fucking moron. And
But
then,
half the time that asshole wins. So
yeah. And then I think we're gonna have the same number one, right?
Napster?
Napster, man.
Yeah.
Napster was awesome.
was a
So-
great game changer.
So when did you use Napster?
I used it at my home computer growing up. We had a computer in the basement. We did not have cable modem. We had a second DSL, our second phone line for our internet at our house.
Okay.
So it was 3.18 KB. That was the
shit.
max
That
out.
was nuts.
So you would take hours to download a song.
So I got Napster. It was like walking to the U of I dorms. You're on like the super internet. It's still like faster than the internet I have now.
Well, they invented the internet.
Yeah.
Actually speaking.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're on like the super like internet, whatever the hub thing was called at the school. You're like this Ethernet thing. You could plug in and you could like literally go to like, cause you know how on Napster you can like see your friends and cause of how this hub thing worked, like literally like every student was on it and you can just like click on them and you can see all of their songs. And you could literally just like download somebody's entire library of songs in like 5 minutes. You can download like 1,000 songs. It was insane. And we wonder why the music industry didn't like Napster.
They never really recovered.
But Napster.com, I feel like still exists. It's like a bad streaming service, like by Rhapsody or something like that.
Oh, it totally is. I mean, Sean Parker ran Spotify.
Yeah. Which is hilarious.
It is kind of a success story. The guy's kind of a douche, but like he didn't settle to be like, oh, that was my good idea. Like he's like, no, there's another way. I'll just find another way. And if that involves being the bad guy in the Facebook movie, so be it.
Whatever, man. He got Timberlake to play him. That's pretty dope. Didn't he have some like crazy wedding? Like it was like Lord of the Rings themed or something, and like people had to like were like assigned outfits
in the California redwoods.
I'm Googling this shot. Like literally, I think like every guest was given like they had to send their measurements.
It ended up being super controversial because they spent like they did like damage to the redwoods, and of course he paid it back because he's a billionaire and like a $300,000 fine to him ain't shit.
No, yeah, he didn't have the Lord of the Rings wedding. That was somebody else. But his wedding is pretty crazy. I just looked at the pictures, and yes, it's definitely in the Redwood Forest. It's a crazy thing. I knew he had some wedding thing that went on with him.
All these guys do that stuff. The Groupon guy got married, and he rented out a town in Colorado.
They have more money than God, basically. Like, so, like, what else are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Like,
I'd like some of that money, God money, though.
They had to spend it somehow. Like, imagine if like $2 billion and like you were getting married and you tell your fiance like, oh, we're just gonna like, you know, get the room over at the Hilton here and just, you know, have invited a few people.
I mean, I would know how to spend that big money, man. I'm a big money kind of guy. I just don't have big money.
Yeah, you'd get like a band. Like you'd spend a lot of money on some band.
Like even a shitty wedding band. I'd be like, Wilco, and everyone would be like, what?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what you would do. You would pay Wilco to play your wedding.
And I'd be like, play all the sad ones first.
Yeah, it would be something like that. It would be like Brendan Palooza would be. You'd rent out. It'd be like the day after Lollapalooza at the Lollapalooza grounds. They wouldn't tear anything out, and they'd have multiple stages for just your wedding.
You might be planning this, bitch. Good. I like where we're going.
All right, man. It's been good. It's good to get back in the pod game. I think we should be a little more regular. We got some plans of some pods coming up. We got the Olympics coming up, and that's just a big pile of bad to talk about.
Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't even really. These are bad because they don't exist anymore. By the way,
A lot of them are failed.
I mean, I think if you went to collegerides.com, if it still existed, you'd see that it's pretty bad in relative to where we are
as a society in general. Collegerides.com, not a great.
Honestly,
thing.
we're probably worse off as society has progressed. Our people haven't.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you everybody for listening. If you haven't already, like us on Facebook and please share our podcast on Facebook. That's actually a great thing for you to do. Like hit that share button or whatever. Do that and subscribe on iTunes and please write reviews too. That actually really helps podcasts. So please do that. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up on Twitter at First of the Worst, or we do have a Gmail, firstoftheworst@gmail.com, which we randomly get emails to from time to time. But yeah, once in a while. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Later.